friends! When I did my language school video, I mentioned using ChatGPT in school quite a bit, and quite a few of you asked me how I used it. So today I will explain you how. However, before starting, I just want to say, because I'm aware of the environmental impact ChatGPT has and also the training bias AI can have, I don't really use it for very basic things that I could just find out via a Google search or looking up things in the dictionary online, for example. So I try to avoid unnecessary things as much as possible. And I also try to critically ask myself, could this be right? Does it make sense? And also sometimes cross-reference with other resources afterwards. For example, for grammar explanations or conjugations or the structure of certain grammar points. However, I tend to use ChatGPT for things where I can save a substantial amount of time, or for things where I don't really find a helpful answer when I search on Google or look things up in a dictionary. For example, some words, they don't have any example sentences in the dictionary, so then I will ask ChatGPT, for example. Since I'm still a beginner with using AI, I'm not sure if my wording is the most effective, so if you have tips regarding that, let me know in the comments below. I'm definitely open for suggestions. So let's start with the first category, which is grammar. The first thing that I asked a lot of times while being in school was to fill in sentence gaps, because we often got practice sheets with sentences for the trigrammar we learned in language school, and there was a sentence with a gap and we had to fill in the gap with things that make sense. But our sensei had the bad habit of putting a lot of words that were too hard for us, that we never heard of, and that made it a lot harder to understand the context. And even when I translated the words, I still didn't know what she wanted, and she didn't really explain it afterwards as well. It was always like, no, that's wrong, do it again. But I don't know why it's wrong, I'm sorry. So I asked for suggestions of words or word groups I can put in the blanks quite a lot, and most of the time they were right. So yeah, it helped quite a bit. It also helped me to understand the things better, and it was still better, I feel like, than leaving it blank and being scolded. And also something that I asked quite frequently was, what's the difference between grammar point A and grammar point B? Because a lot of times we had similar grammar points, but the teachers often didn't explain the differences, and they seemed very similar for me as a learner. Oftentimes I found an answer on High Native. Sometimes that helped as well, and then I didn't use ChatGPT, but when I didn't find an answer that was convincing me or that made it clear to me, I asked that. And then when I reviewed the grammar points we studied in school on my own, I also asked ChatGPT if the sentences that I wrote myself with the new grammar points are grammatically correct, because I didn't want to learn my own mistakes and our senseis didn't have time for that. So yeah, I just took the easy way, you could say. And then the next thing is kind of related to that. Sometimes I asked for a specific usage. For example, with te iku, I asked, I want to show, based on the present situation, how things will change in the future. Is this sentence grammatically right? And since te iku has like 3 different meanings based on where you put it or like how you use it, I just wanted to make sure I did it correctly, because it's one of the grammar points I struggled with for a long time, and it actually helped me to understand it way better. And then we come to the second category, which is vocabulary. And one thing that I asked also sometimes was why a certain answer was correct for an exercise we had, because as I told you before in the review video, we didn't really have time to ask a lot of questions, so I couldn't really ask that in class a lot of times, so I just tried to figure it out on my own. And of course I wanted to understand things and not just brush over things that I don't get. I also asked for differences between similar words. For example, some words, they have basically the same translation in the dictionary, but they are used in different settings, or one word is more polite than the other, or sometimes they're just synonyms. But I find it really hard to figure out those differences sometimes. So I have actually a running list on my phone where I keep track of all the words that are kind of similar, and I have no idea when to use the one and when to use the other one, especially when doing my Bunpro cards. So usually if I can't find it out via Google search or with the High Native website, I will just ask ChatGPT and hope that it's correct. Of course, I can't really check if it's correct, except for doing another Google search, but I feel like it's still better having something that might be right than not knowing anything at all. And I feel like seeing this table compared to just some like text examples makes it a lot easier for me to understand the difference as well. And then sometimes I ask for example sentences for a vocabulary word when I don't find a good sentence via Googling or using Jisho, for example, or another dictionary, because also I don't know sometimes what's the right context to use the word and I don't want to get it wrong. And when we had our kanji word exercises in school, I sometimes got it wrong without using an external help, so I just want to make sure I learn it correctly, especially now that I don't have a teacher anymore that's correcting me, except for my italki teacher sometimes, but yeah, she's not there all the time. And also often I include in those questions where I ask for an example sentence or like an explanation for ChatGPT to keep in mind that I'm only N3 level, so that it just uses N5 to N3 words and grammatical structures. And then similar to the first one, sometimes I also ask specifically how to use a word in context, because sometimes just seeing the example sentences doesn't really help me depending on the word. So having all the settings listed where you could use it is also very helpful for me. And then we come to the third category, which is writing. So I often ask ChatGPT to correct the texts that I wrote, and it's mostly very accurate. As I told you in another video, sometimes I let ChatGPT correct my text, and then I will let my italki teacher correct the texts again. And sometimes she has a few extra things that ChatGPT didn't really pick up on, but she never said that something that ChatGPT corrected was wrong. So that's a good sign, I guess. But yeah, it will not catch all of your little particle mistakes, for example. But I feel like that's okay. If it's just minor mistakes, I can live with that. And then when we had to write our essays in language school, we had to read some news articles as a resource. And one of the news articles that I read was very hard and I didn't understand a lot because there were so many difficult words because it was about agriculture. So I asked ChatGPT to rewrite the text that I read, or like a part of the text that I read, into easier N3 level Japanese. And it helped definitely a lot to understand it better and to actually use the contents in my own writing and not make so many mistakes. And as you know, I graduated in March from language school, so I don't need ChatGPT as much anymore, luckily, because I don't have so much time pressure anymore. I can just look for things on Google in my own time and there's no deadline pressing or no homework to be done, etc. So I don't have to rely on it that much anymore. Sometimes I still use it for the example sentences, for the differences between words and grammar points if I can't find it out myself, and for my text corrections. So if I write my diary sentences in Japanese or just a little text, I usually ask if that's correct. But except from that, I don't really use it. I recently watched a video from someone else. I will link it in the description box if I find it again. But she, for example, suggested to ask ChatGPT to write an N3 level text, for example, about a certain topic she's interested in and make a list of the most important words or something. And I thought this was very helpful, I guess. But then again, it uses a lot of resources. So technically, I could just Google for easy Japanese articles about that topic first. And I know that there are a lot of more helpful things you can use ChatGPT for when it comes to learning a language or learning Japanese. But yeah, regarding the environmental impact, I don't really want to use it more than I already do. Let me know how you use ChatGPT when learning Japanese and if you use it at all. If you have a better alternative, maybe also let me know. And as always, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on how I continue with my Japanese study now that I'm on my own again. And I will see you in my next video very soon. Bye bye!